3249, welcome to Module 3, aka Week 3, aka Midterm. This is, I guess we just completed 1/3 of the semester, and by the time this module is over, we will have completed 1/2. So, hey, you're hanging in there. You're getting it done. Good job. So let's keep going. This module, our task is really kind of twofold. First of all, you should focus most of your energy really on completing your job docs midterm. So that includes a resume, cover letter, and thank you letter, along with proof of job ad. Remember, this has to be in response to an actual job for which you are mostly qualified, give or take 6 months. So if you're about to graduate, yes, you could make materials for a job that requires a bachelor's degree. If you are a freshman and a job requires 5 years of experience and a master's degree, don't apply to that job. That's not going to be a positive learning experience, and it's just out of your wheelhouse. So don't do that one. The cover letter is something that you're going to read up on this week. A cover letter mostly takes the content of your resume and then expands upon it. So if that resume is a well-designed document that sort of lists the facts, the cover letter explains why those facts are important. And how do you know which facts are important? Well, the job ad tells you. So go ahead and have a look at last week. I provided the cover letter to job ad correspondence. I believe it was I'm looking for the title right now. Cover letter conversion is what it's called. And it kind of is a graphic representation of how to take the stuff that's in your resume and apply it to your cover letter via the job ad. So definitely have a tight look at that. Read your Markel and Selber text. That explains a lot about how to do that as well. The thank you letter, I'm going to tell you a little story about a thank you letter at the end of this video. The thank you letter, the big thing I want you to do, I just want you to get in the habit of writing them. They're very simple. They're straightforward. Dear, whatever the interviewer's name is, I really enjoyed our interview on such and such a date. I'm looking forward to hearing back from you. If you have any questions or would like to discuss my qualifications further, please feel free to email me at email address and then sign your name. There's nothing to them. You don't have to get fancy with the cover letter. I just want you to make the mental association that it's always resume, cover letter, thank you letter, every time. Beyond that, yeah, the proof of job ad, the proof of peer review, and then I ask you to do a brief questionnaire from out of the book. Shouldn't be too difficult. These are open-ended questions. You can't answer them wrong. Just explain your thinking to me a little bit. Okay, the other thing we really have to start to turn our attention towards is the final project. Almost everything we do from here on out is dedicated to your final, and that's a group project. It's a group report with a presentation. To that end, next week, in week 4, module 4, you're going to give a short video of introduction. And then in your capstone, in your final project, you and your group will produce a video to go along with your report. So that's the public speaking component, that's the group work component. And with this group that you have now, you should be conducting the peer review for your job docs. Hopefully you are. A word to the wise is sufficient. So you've got some reading to do. My discussion notes are split between covering cover letters as part of the job seeking process, and then how to do a organizational interview. So when you are preparing your final project, one note I want to make is that this is a lot easier if you can contact an organization directly. In my 15-week class, I completely ban pie in the sky projects. So in 15-week, if somebody's like, I want to solve problems for Amazon or Apple or Google, no way. You don't have that kind of access. You're going to wind up with an unrealistic, as I say, pie in the sky report. You don't have a realistic sense of what executive level decisions look like at these massive carrier class companies. It's a lot better, a lot more realistic, a lot more practical. You'll learn a lot more if you do projects for a local business where you can talk to somebody in charge and get a real boots on the ground picture. That said, because this is a 6-week class and because communication is online only, maybe you have to do a sort of fictionalized project. I can appreciate the distinction just a heads up, it's easier, it's more fun, and you learn more if you do a local company that you have ties to, as opposed to some big flagship trans-global company. Just some advice for you. Okay, in the module, please note that I've got a whole list of look-fors for the job docs project. Definitely go over that. I have a sample for your proof of peer review. When conducting peer review, yes, I'm only asking you to do 2 peer reviews. Here's a pro tip. Ask like 4 or 5 people to do peer review with you. Peer review at its most basic level is that you trade work with somebody and then you give each other constructive criticism. Obviously, there's a document that goes along with that. Have a look at the sample copy. If you only ask 2 people to do peer review, the odds are somebody's going to disappoint you, probably through no fault of their own. But think about it. If you only ask 2 people or only agree to do this with 2 people and somebody doesn't come through for you, well, you're on the hook for that missing peer review. And not to be harsh and not to be cold, but this is the heads up. Get 4 or 5 people to do peer review with you, and at least 2 of them will come through. Because if I get that peer review copy that says, this person said this about my work, I told them about their work, and then I couldn't get a second reviewer, points off. I know it's not your fault. I don't care. Not to be mean about it, but you've got the email address or the easy contact through your group of 4 or 5 other people. So there's really no reason to not solicit everybody to do this. You do have some quizzes. You've got 2 quizzes from Practical Strategies for Technical Communication. You have a quiz on the discussion notes. And then you've got a little tiny dinky little research project. And I'm actually thinking of pushing the deadline on that back a little bit because it is a discussion, but you've also got this peer review and this midterm project to do. And in fact, I think I am going to push that back maybe by half a week, maybe give you an extra couple days. The career prospectus discussion, you're going to research the career that you want to be doing, and you're going to identify what it's like at entry, mid-career, and senior level. I provide you an example of that. I use my former career of copywriting, and I tell you a little bit about that. Have a look, emulate that in whatever it is that you are planning to go into, and then discuss, enjoy, kibitz a little bit. Okay, so I did promise that at the end of the video, I was going to tell you a little bit of a story about the cover letter. I'm sorry, the thank you letter. And I'm going to make this brief. And when you're dealing with the thank you letter, I want you to remember that I'm here at FIU in large part because of 2 different thank you letters. The first is one I did write, and the other one is one I didn't write. So when I interviewed here, I did the whole thing. I did, resume. We actually call it a CV in academia, cover letter, and then when I had 2 interviews, one over the phone, video chat, and then I came down and did one in person. After both of those, I wrote a thank you. In this case, it was an email and said, thank you so much for your time and consideration. I've really enjoyed getting to meet you. If you have any questions, if you want to discuss my qualifications further, please just email me, and here's my email address. I knew to do that because I had interviewed for another position before and went in, nailed the interview. Oh, I felt so good coming out of that interview. I felt like just, oh yeah, okay, might as well just go ahead, start spending money because I already got this job. And a couple days later, after the interview, I get the email that says, thank you for interviewing. And if the email from the potential employer starts with, thank you for interviewing, you didn't get the job. So I really wanted that job. I closed my email and went off and did my own thing for a little bit. And then I came back and read the email, and it said, thank you for interviewing. And it also said, thank you for your letter. And for a second, I thought maybe they had sent this to me by mistake, because I'm like, no, I got this job. Come on, I nailed this. And then I thought, by the way, this is an important detail. This was for a teaching position in technical and professional communication. And I thought there must be some mistake because I never sent you a thank you letter. And as soon as I said that out loud to myself, I thought, oh, crap. Yeah. I should have known better. I 100% should have known better, and I'm reasonably convinced that was a deciding factor. The other candidate who was up for the job sent a thank you letter. I didn't. So what was the critical difference? That was it. That could be the critical difference for you too. So that's why, again, I want you in the habit of writing a thank you letter every time you go on a job interview. Even if it doesn't feel good, even if you don't think you got the job, send a thank you letter anyway. You might be surprised. All right, that's it. If you have any questions or concern, please reach out to me by email. That's vmalish@fiu.edu, vmalesh@fiu.edu. Have a great week. I'm really looking forward to seeing your midterm projects. Take care, work hard, see you on the other side.